the issue of military brutality of civilians seems not to be ending anytime soon. ABSC will delve a bit more into that. Sounds so national security issue statement ENRA for more mwehono and NDC presidential MPP presidential primaries so countdown no ashe ase vote for a candidate based on competence not religion where Matthew Opoko Prempeh to MPP delegate and until evidence is provided, claims of vote buying are mere allegations. Justine Frimpong Kodia, General Secretary of the party, so they are to join mainly we focusing on what will be happening this Saturday and other matters arising. My Yoshana Yentwaso, first one behind my man started. I think Dennis started. Okay. No, I'm starting. Oh, now shall say. No, I've been. Oh, be when them found the best at so minimum there to cow back. It's way there to be no to make now on car. You are coming the pass out of it's way there. As a sachet na semi jano son kasa so you be car no be car because we use no be car as a sachet and the garu timpani na be car sorry garu timpani garu is but I think more extent me timpani MP no say apparently it's in the Kusok area. And they say nkofo no even though I didn't see what garu no soldier for no tefa timpani so say no e display
no garu no timpani they are close and largely speaking they are all in the same Kusok area,
in the same Kusok
like Kusa the Kusasi kingdom. Let me say it easy to understand.
Okay.
I'm in Angrof. Okay, I see.
Kusasi, Boku, Garu, Binduri, Zebila.
Okay. Binduri, that is
Binduri is
in that enclave. Okay. Miracles. What DC is a Wahonenka?
I am a Timonka. I think say for me, me cut the time I'm about me.
Okay.
And then campaign about Saturday.
Elections.
No security wasn't.
So issues too. I'm going to the open and
and maybe send the on security wasn't.
So to be avoided the American far. This is somebody. So opa so ka garina so to be and academic and maybe you can have them. Anyway, I mean I think say in about 4 days they're about you be call into election November 4th.
It's 5 days.
Presidential primaries. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is definitely the man to beat in our elections. Or no, any parliament no say ya kase ya tuabane na yenim say obetu and obi air for simple reasons. And ne ameno kase party say penipa ba ko pa or mind the brightest opportunity to win the next elections are Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay.
This I won't pay a party ni pen I'll be say no. But okay a party no part there. Every indicator points to the fact say I don't know mind the brightest chance. Because you see, you're going into an election against a candidate from the NDC. He's been president before. Ghana Hanson, when you say never be brave, very always be brave elections.
Sure.
To date, you won't phobia Mkotoba or semi Kotoma Chinian. To date, Obi so semi Kotoma also. To date, and formal education, ne, mo police, ne, the answer Kotoma Chinian. Into name recognition and face recognition, there was certain percentage of your voters are. And no more the
yes.
Minimum Martini Dean any idea. And see, as a factor, is a key factor. We can't downplay that one. Say we have an opponent with the president. I can't. You name say Ghana Hene. If you be no minimum your mama by name and by face, and especially because of Doom Sontin, money are popular even more. Some can to be avoided. So, also by virtue of Doom Sonti, he became very, very, very popular. Man, Kuala Crown and Kuala Crown car, Ebia, because a politics inform Crampono. You do campaign, can you appeal? Oh, Mahama, any idea? So, we need to field a candidate. You need to say in the next 13 months, in terms of name recognition and face recognition, no, you bet me a boosting in terms a very, very critical. Dr. Mahmoud Bamiedi running mates at least 4 times. And I was here the vice president twice. In terms of even political profile, no, we need to be like I said, we are 2008 no about front line. But see, I can't experience a wagada since 2008 until now. I doubt if any of the 4 can match up to him. Any of the 4 no, could have been part of government, could have been part of the MPP, but the level now on where Drew no, will be with Ghana how the infant say kwata with Ghana 4 times. Ghana baby out, but Richie will be a running mate for 4 times. No, why leader of the government and the party at the highest level. What's national council of the party for 2008? Ebe pemone, what's a party nase? A party in Noma. A party in him for the very longest period in recent times. A BM yin him obi and yet your friend is saying, and yet hidden fact to say, Dr. Mahmoud Bamian and who can't say party the Ben Pan and this for make a choice or no. That is the main reason why they would never admit. They'll come and tell you, say, hey, Muda Dr. Mahmoud Bamian, you defeatist, it's not even a strategy, mind games. I'm from reverse psychology. And say I can say one pan end is for Kase Omunyaya and can uncontested in the next election. Dr. Mahmoud Bamian. And they always also like a garu. It's a fear in America. Don't forget where the car can subject what I was. Okay. It's very important. Say we take note of that. Dr. Mahmoud Bamian has a personal value. On one as an individual, and the personal value it brings to bear to boost your party and chances are very high. When him say, say you share your last 4 or so vice president in your my women, near Cassian top 2. I'm very, very, very known power my woman, Dr. Mahmoud Bamian. In terms of his own personal efforts, even politically. 2016, in the Dr. Mahmoud Bamian he contributed about 45 to 50% of the success of the MPP. All over the place. And I'm being as candid as possible, not because I support him, but to be a major too. He was all over the place. In fact, as a running mate, I doubt if there's ever been any running mate that has held such value. Will be a running mate which means we cross our impact, no? As saying Dr. Mahmoud Bamian. To the sense they do baby crampono. Now constituencies here program no will be invited here. Dr. Mahmoud Bamian and not even the candidate. And the beauty of party the share and say on no management in the northern part of Ghana we deliver. Before Dr. Mahmoud Bamian in impact in the north, no. I mean the greater northern region, that's Savannah, northeast, northern region together, 31 seats, no. Then this is about 28 or so. I forgot the figure, but about 28 or so. And MPP there was barely 5 or thereabouts. And now I know say, attorney, I'm over the period no because of his influence and the impact when you are on and then MPP class 16 and then this class 15. You may not like him because maybe you are not MPP, or you may not like him because you're MPP but you don't support him. But Obian to me downplaying the impact. There is no vice president who has been held accountable for the political party actions and inactions than Dr. Mahmoud Bamian. There is none. And it's simple. It's because while we're front line of your party, he has been in the trenches with us, and with Gina party up fighting for the party over the period. Here 2013, when he said that Dr. Mahmoud Bamian my party, it could have been a make or break for any politician. Because Sada Karim no be a docotra, a being cotra monopopo you. And see, it was a turning point for him. That is why a lot of party stalwarts at that time, now they were so worried in getting into the box for that purpose. Because Adeba Power Bekano, a bit to sell career in. But he put his career on the line and stood in for the party and fought for the party and ensured, and a lot of the reforms we are seeing today was as a result of revelations that came in the 2013 court case. And to our court case, we need different pink sheets. In fact, now a lot of political parties had not paid attention to your electoral processes in Asempa FM. It's that defining moment, It's what changed so many things. And then my MPP cry readiness for elections because a lot of the issues here they highlight here based on the months and weeks of research here they highlight here. So we're able to prepare and put in place mechanisms to deal with the issues and the challenges. And see that value is one that we cannot take from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Even your electoral fortunes, apart from parliamentary in the north, some of the figures. In 2012, MPP, you're winning in 7 constituencies against NDC, 24 constituencies in the north. In 2016, you're moving from 7 to 9. That's the presidential. You're moving from 7 to 9. So you could see the progress. NDC, reduce here to 20 from 24 to 22. 2020 MPP, you call 14 from 7. You are double. So as of 2020, we are doubled in terms of the number of constituencies you winning presidential votes as a result of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia impact or make it and then northeast. Look at how we are performing in that region. Obi, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has proven over the period say he has the capacity to bring this country together across ethnic, across religious, across gender, across the youth. He can bridge he is that person that embodies, he attracts both the young, the old, and what have you. And going into the future now, that is the kind of leader that we are looking out for the kind of Ghana that we want to build. Nyama be brain yaye obi ba be brain so naka esi etumi eden yenya kandinia owogidie ewo niema yaye nimu na obetumi abosa niema no ho ba yaman na de aka ye ntumi yen which he ade bako a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia obo approach na o admit and say obi under education the records are there, under health the records are there, industrialization the records are there. Look at what is happening in the automobile sector. So I just say, Agric, the records are there. The broad infrastructure, the records are there. But the macroeconomic indicators, we haven't done so well there. There is no lie there. There's no lie there. It's a fact. It's a fact to say the AC last year, 2022, between January to November, it was completely abnormal. It was abnormal. I had to say, what Ukraine so we are about to now all of a sudden, Nanka West because enough they are able to back up. But that is why we have leadership. And the Bia Massima can say, and so near that can deny your papa. Any can deny your papa and say, so how near Manihuna Bebrese bar, a quan bay, and our faswa, or the Susano. Can the Niba or Hanaba or Samunyame? Moha Drindodo. Mother complaining, Kwana mu complaining. The Ampesa Muye Biamunge. The Ampesa Mia Nana May, Mrs. Yandia Moka Kana Miti, my old dream. Can you Niba Codiano? Can you Niba also say, Media, me jitu so how near Maniana beside the Abba. Nemunya Botre. Yet they share to Twaquemu. You go so a danano. A quaint beer before so a bit to be and who feel how we mono. A bit to you with him. That is who Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia represents. That is who he is. Obi, we have been here before. 2008. Mamika Semichro, Nameda Manuisi. Between the year 2000 and 2008, President Kufuor Bemu in 2000. President Kufuor ne man who their friend of social intervention. President Kufuor ne man who say, "See to me for omani nyina hu sika." E de boy nyina hu akwama. President Kufuor actually set this country on the path of prosperity. To the point say, "Tama no free Bemu in 2008 no. Ni yes here the gateway to Africa." No, say we are the golden age of business. I don't know if you remember. Those were the days I will be wishing now banks, now by say, Brabejo Busana FM. President Kofone Day, a friend is saying capitation by school feeding program, free maternal care, national health insurance scheme. So many programs are President Kofone bar on my way. But you do 2008 and around, I think June thereabouts. We have two challenges. That was the time at Wall Street economic crunch. President Kufuor encountered two challenges. Challenge number one, you have fuel shortage and high fuel prices. Means okay, yeah. Utumi a line be 3 days. Now pay fuel at all. Obekono, you see to me turn 2 gallons a month. Nebu also the day and crime chrome film cantonment. Nanko 4 gallons. No more go to move pay in Sway day. Ebu and the Kofor gallon yellow near day, a buyer. But you won't believe it. People faced the new challenges at that time. Then you know, this was the time another dollar to CD 0.99 pesos. Not dollar to CD. This was the time 0.9 pesos. But because people were going through that hardship, it was easy for propaganda to fly. And during the NDC for a I must say, aha, someone in so when I had deno, a prefer crata yenya, say, no more papers be no medical round. MPP for the account for. We are gonna for seeking now, share NIB account, share way GCB account, share way ADB account, and this is a fact too. And then you remember, and then General Secretary, and this is General Secretary Fifi Kote. What was the name? Setting a record straight. Confronting up by every gold bars and what Bank of Ghana in United Kogo Brutally. I don't know if you remember. I say Ghana for didn't have a choice. I know be genuinely. Obi watching no one he more. The Obeka be Obefa and yan me a me church him number beti. And I yet twaba my NDC. Fifi Kwete bar Parliament Oba vetting as I think Deputy Minister for Finance or soon. Omubisa him as okay. I say no new evidence we are named Tron no channel. And he admitted say it was true. Yes. The video is there. And come show you.
It's a campaign.
Yes. He said it was. Now can say campaign and Tron now. And I also no chance.
Who could have campaign platforms as a matter now?
There be Ocean, and I said that particular one there. Yeah, campaign talk. No, it's a lie. It wasn't true that gold bars were missing.
The campaign talk is equivalent to a lie.
There be the police. He was asked to prove.
No, if you fail to prove, that's the difficulty.
Yeah, but then it's a lie. If you fail to prove, then it's a lie. I think, what are you debating? What are you debating me for?
What you are saying is
the person was asked whether it is true. Say now go that you see there be, and then campaign talk. What does it mean? I am trying to know.
Who see or say?
I think this argument
the way we are putting the words in.
Okay. Fifi Kwete say. You be say, no question a good bars. I see there. Now Obi is not akin to no chantro.
No control is true, but the
same thing. That's your inference. It is also no control because if you say, now I am passing good, I don't see there be no control. Okay.
Miracle. Now, also what do I know?
That by the way, you watching me almost 5 minutes. Before I got for the Obi, a call run, it wasn't only Fifi Koto. It came to light, say, a lot of the things that they said at the vetting. It came to light, a lot of the things they were lying. I mean, I remember Jumado and may his soul rest in perfect peace. Send me fast forward, you do 2 minutes. The resultant output, and they say, Nagana ha, in Kola, close to 100,000. I feel be a cutting out streets so because school down better money. Or my parents in this can be your school fees. Resultant output, no, and they say, Nagana ha, multimedia cramule off workers because no music am on the tough war and power generators, not a cost road into my operational burden, no, a year more. And so many other things. And see, the year came in and say, Yajitum or holiday, no doubt about that. Nemo acquire fast $1, a cost 17 cities and area by 11.5. Acquire fast $5 gallon yellow, no, a cost 1,500 and number 500 Ghana cities. Acquire fast $4, acquire copy 17 above them. You want which him, but there has never been a time in the history of this country a fuel price cost above them that. I'm telling you, there has never been a time in this country $1 cost about femda. Ghana ha, a dear mantra bako ye say, a dear price cost ra and buffem. Ghana ha, a mantra bako bene. You can clearly see that a slow dear, but you're progressing. And see, why don't we protect? I don't know, young boy can to be in a buying. So I just say, young more buying. Now, for the aka into me, you know, young concord. That's what we are talking about because yes, I'm mistaken him. Yeah, but the end is if we cast a dirty. And you're now for neutrals, no? If you're now for neutrals, what is that thing? If you're neutral, oh,
who said the same? I'm not neutral.
What are you? Are you NDC?
So the fact that you are not.
Relax.
I have
between MPP and NDC, you are neutral.
I take political decisions. I can never be neutral.
Between MPP and NDC, you are neutral.
No, when you say between, how can you reduce Ghana's politics to just?
Now when I bet me contest, I mean,
you mention my name, say me neutral. I think
neutral. Opinion neutral. I think you're neutral. between MPP and NDC or neutral.
Of course, me MPP and NDC.
And Yomono,
but I'm not neutral when it comes to issues.
Omo de Omokasa de or your neutrals no come NDC or neutrals no come NDC. Omo de fire one dada here. No beji to me. Kakrana ya no. Ombe say no. Because they have no belief and trust in it. Afe in pursuit of the akana nti ne de be mom no. Esa ne say mienu ne miensa bi na akana ye ntumi ye no. Enu nti ne ye pese ye de mom no. Be de mom a the akano krampo no omo ni hu akade ni nimdia a omo de be siesie no. Na afe de akana ya ye no nto motu be den ase no. And that's why we are asking and pleading with the people of Ghana say. Okay. For the first time in the history of this country, omo ma a political party an opportunity to finish what we have started. There are over 111 hospitals that we want to complete. Let's complete it. There are about, your friend is saying, several senior high schools that we are still providing infrastructure. Let's complete. We are doing amazing things with industrialization and the automobile industries. Last week, they are Toyota for the University of Ghana for Akwakoye, Renault for Yebi, Mitsubishi for Yebi, Nissan for Yebi. Let's complete it. Let us finish what we've started. Okay. Let's put the country on a state. Simple, God forbid, a son could be almost say no cry and saying could do baby as say a sign by the baby. These are some of the things that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say. Ghana will not forgive us if we don't win election 2024. They will not forgive us. On the course of this, time another 4 years. Ebeding, ebeba. And a coin beer before so a becker in one boom. Near to me, you can near obey me and this for pem. No one get to me, near to me at 20 pie and so on. It's here to be
that's a miracle. Abuaje any attending can Ekosiisen higher sempa 94.7 FM.
No, this is not fair to this show. Why? You cannot disappear after speaking. It's not fair to this show. Everybody else has a meeting here. You just walked out. No, have you granted him the permission? Exactly. Waka say we so kwa on nyamenko.
Sane akwa record news biyama one of your sister stations. Was here Obonzi.
Empty that's it. Anyway,
utra gan mayet asem.
Yeah, born amane.
Bia mo beke bi obi a oti mu bi anim.
Yeah, born amane.
Adefo bi ni wa. Adefo bi ni wa yeti asem. Ayo so be ka garu. Me be ka chere say ka no.
Ekosiisen high asem 94.7 FM. Entima yenhwe ne yento aso. Atik Obi, my means here.
Well, media, our prime minister, I wish them well. Now, may the best candidate win. But you see, the main Obi here, or see, the taste of the kebab is in the chewing. What is here? Not in the meat, it's in the chewing. Until near what now, Kazagana will not forgive them if they lose. I have one every 20 some lose. So how can I vote against you and say me vancho? It means man vancho until me too abanitiao. And every numa we ye muntina me too abano etiao. What is here? And you see, it's sometimes me and me they need to be very circumspect. No man shall unkoye, and his shall no man koye. And in the way you speak, you need to be very measured. And as so Jin say Ghana for na 80 to he created the impression as if say sebi nyansa ni bi any other parties no more betimi abu Ghana man amana yi. And to say oh Ghana for mamontna ento mu ye no so na mu wie. How many years do they need to finish what? How many years? Can we say every election, I mean every mandate 4 years.
Thank you.
And so who catch Timai phone say me ba within 4 years no every manifesto is valid for just 4 years.
Correct.
As a kind of 40 years yes sir. Say any and every manifesto you present is valid for just 4 years. And this is just a testament to failings.
Correct.
So 4 years now me demand me can say me ABC demand me anye until I give me extension. You see sometimes you can say uko exam ye u ko tron so hwe na upon antoa you say time no e kontem dodo what is here because
last school exam
time na kakra say 5 more minutes na fe now as pressure be about so wo pre Unyayanka, you better extend the time, no. What I say, and that should tell you that I've been issue So for you to say that you need more time, extra time to be able to finish now study, not just I don't want to say that it's a confession. Oh, it's a testimony to your inability to fulfill the things you promised say within the time frame allowed by law. No? The law allows you only 4 years, and your manifesto is valid for 4 years. Let's see me by May A, B, C, D. When to mean we are, men can say more extra time, and that's what I'm saying. Say the communication for the MPP and those in government going forward, it has to be unique. It has to be it has to be precise. In a way, I'm quite to say, oh, we have failed, but give us more time. What I say? Because you're okay, that's exactly what it means. And if you don't take your time to do the communication well, everybody say, oh, your man extra time the question will be maybe say, and consider ben. And can say, more bano, more say, oh, we need all the time in the world to do near. You told us within the 4 years, no, near 4 years in Yandria Muzu, near course video, be bad ya, Yamana Yentiminiano, Omuntuaso. But we need more time to be able to finish. Having said so, and look, I am of the view, say, there are so many things that are going not too right. And he made some admissions. And once you admit, say, Newman Shadam Koye, you don't make it sound as if, say, even though Newman Koye, you know, but there is a certain emergence, there is a certain Messiah who is about to emerge. Or no dear Oba, all of a sudden, Hakuna Matata, Bibia the Dean. What is it? It is not like that. There he's also going, even if he wins, he's still going to face challenges. He's going to inherit challenges. No government would come and would have it easy. Any government that is coming to inherit trouble. And people should be minded by this fact. But again, he supports a certain candidate. And I feel that candidate is good, he's competent and all. But there are going to be challenges. And so Prime Minister Omuye is just a tip of the iceberg. The bigger challenge is the 2024 general election. And what are you taking forward into that election? What are you taking into that election? That is the bigger question. And look, every candidate baby has some background, with him. Maybe either having served in public office or having done something. Obia in the background. And as for 2024, it's not going to be a contest of background, so it's going to be a contest of achievements, a contest of which ideas have the propensity to take us out of our current, state. Those are the issues that are going to play out in 2024. And Wade is the only vice president to have done. Look, but will those amount to solutions? And Ghana voices here are solutions. But like I said, I have no doubt say Prime Minister need Dr. Bawumia be winning. But he would need to do much more if he wants to win in the main election. And the posture say, it is only the MPP that can save this country. Without him, nothing can work. I think that is a posturing that can be counterproductive. And to also assume, say, I'm going to say Ghana for Betu Abana Mamu, na Omutu Tiamwa, they would regret that decision. I think, sir, it's an exaggeration of how important he thinks the MPP today is. So we are MPP ni na wu peso kanu credit. You want to tell yourself the hard truth. You believe you like ubejetum say ni ekosunu de entwe what is here. And if Ghanaians decide to make a certain choice, it is not because Sebi they are making a terrible decision, but it is because your actions have given them a cause to take certain decisions. What was here? And to me, like I said, I wish them well. I hope say it will be an incident-free event. So far, INT say somebody is involved in an accident, and now we pray say on the main day too, it would be free of any incident, or being Koko be the election will end and whoever wins will be declared,
the winner.
And so on.
You don't think Kenneth Japan will pose any threat?
He is a threat. You see, there's a difference between posing a threat and winning. I think, sir, he will do very well, but eventually Dr. Bawumia will win.
Will win.
That's my belief. But do not discount the Ken factor. He's a strong contender. He's not somebody you can just walk over. No. You see, and I say this with the background, sir. He's somebody who appeals somewhat to the grassroots. And that's his constituency. And that is why I disagreed with the analysis that suggested, say, all the superdelegates, no conference, no resource, no, EBM Fatuhua, and EBM basis, you conclude, say, or baby BM. But can one say, a whole name a stronghold? I like to say that his stronghold is the grassroots because Omuna Otta appeals, he appeals to them more than he appeals to the elites. At least if he say he's loud, he's not measured in his utterances, he does a little too much. That's the view of the elite. But grassroots, you know, they feel he's communicating their language, he's speaking their language. No pay noka. This kukudroni or you be he will tell you as it is. You know, so he appeals to them largely. Or on shortcomings, sometimes, like I said, he does a little too much and all of that. But the way the so-called elites understand his utterances, you know. If they grown, ye dear grown one if fear, you should expect say baby ye be defeating Ukraine and ye easy sir. So he's certainly going to pull some votes, and I see him as a threat in this contest. Like I said, eventually I'm very confident that Dr. Bawumia will win it, but you can't discount the Ken factor. He's also going to do his bit. Obeya dear, just like he performed in the first round.
Yeah.
And people are quick to say that we share the distance between the second, like he came a distant second.
Sure.
But that was a select few. It was a special constituency, an electoral college, where there's a free-for-all affair. And just like the other candidates appeal to delegates, and also particularly appeals to the grassroots. And he's been running a certain very, I don't want to say dangerous, but very, very tough campaign. Well, it's not tough, but the campaign on the mood. Or what he did, he sets a certain trap for his opponents. Or now I say, oh, Namo, what you want to 2,000. Your colleagues in other places, more 100,000 pickups, which is increasing the cost of the candidates on the Bahono. Until I shed the air bone crofuka. And because he has a certain appeal, no, okay, a be mujinidi. Until Banawam, Masasi Canibia, oh, okay, Sabi. Media Obumikosia, as may see the Oko and the Oko man see. It is making, you know, the campaign of others very expensive, much more than it should ordinarily be. And secondly, too, he's setting people against people. And look, like I said, you can't discount his relevance.
Yeah.
You may have issues with how loud he sounds sometimes. You may have issues with how like he speaks without limits. And dear, you can have issues with that. But you can't also, you know, you can say water down the effect of the relationship with the grassroots. No? And Oshe Sadinasi and he's endeared himself to the grassroots not today. They be no canyon pity. Say party ni jam, party ni nshamo, and people have issues with how he goes about announcing his philanthropy. But nonetheless, he's philanthropic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is.
What else here? Yeah. You may have issues with how he announces some of his philanthropy sometimes, but nevertheless, he's philanthropic. And I come to a chrome.
Little money be
and he at the beginning, I'm not sure he was doing it because he had his eye on the ball. He wanted to be a president. I think that idea until I think over the period no factors are every boat in the campaign and I in the campaign.
Yeah.
Until you can't discount him. Eventually Dr. Bawumia, I'm sure, will win. but they need to manage the Ken factor. They need to.
Fallout of the election.
Elections
November
are
4th,
very, very important. And knowing Dr. Baume, I think he would want to avail himself of any opportunity to mend any cracks and deal with whatever fallouts there might be after the 4th November. Because Wanya and those around him must learn from him. This tough talk and this forming big boys, and those pretending to be Baumia and
more than Baumia
himself, no. And yet, who seek an idea campaign, no. And yet, phone in a ballot paper, no. So, until people need to be measured in the way they flaunt and flex their muscles about, because at the end of the day, Okoye sabi Okodin in same hunu na effects in bad Dr. Baumia so ah. Say your original elections, no campaign. If anything at all, he's profiting financially from this process. Until people should learn from him. He comes across as a humble gentleman. Apart from recently, MC Kana Ken Ninama or Bob. Yeah. He was forced to respond.
Not respond.
Yes, because he knows, if you know, like Oyobia, I don't want to say so, but he's humble. What has he? And Otinyo Bia say a campaign, a man for Bekan. But I think he was getting out of Antina or responding. Baby Muninamo, Kenya, why? Sebi.
The Hawks.
The Hawks, that's the right word. And some of these people, to all intents and purposes, are just leeches. And they do not give a damn if Baumia loses or wins. Some of them are in need for what comes. Until they need to know, say, look, you cannot, Abuba and to Dr. Baumia Garimu in the name of supporting him. A lot of the things they are doing are counterproductive. Mitie Papa B. The way he was, urban youth would say you are big.
Papa B.
The one was you are big Kenny. Hey, some money here popular. Now, dear, you'll be MC. Nipana, you claim you are supporting him. One to me, now on Kasa Kenny, you'll be. And you should be learning from him. Because on him say eventually he will win Nyamia Naduma. No, we knew he can't go on this needless fight with Ken. Because even if he loses a vote, just one vote, because of Sa a year, idea behano.
Sure.
No phone in the ballot paper no so. Wow, who form me big boy gangster you can't play any campaign. And after primaries, no, not even a dime are you going to contribute to the campaign. Phone in the ballot paper no so until Oluswa. You have nothing to lose. What is here? Until Mwa Sebi, you are pretending, not pretend, you claim you are supporting Baumiano. Learn from him. And yes, I Sebi, on him Kasa, Otibrofu Pao. Say, Basse Yen Yano. If it is jobs, now when the job your mama Baumia, he knows how to, he can defend himself and speak for himself. But when he said tactically, it is not productive to be engaged in the war of words as some of you are engaged in. First, you are affecting his brand, you are hurting his fortunes, and you are setting him up against Nkrofa, who otherwise would be the forces around his campaign towards 2024. Well, Ken Elusu and Nea, Baumia would need his support. But some did not attempt it would be difficult for him to come and join. Esana Baumia na mahano no. Mudia muko mufie. But on what nasi ye electoral calculations na. Emfa or calculator emfa or jinwa on tiasia no knowing mubi na mahano. Nti Misramu, if you think you are supporting him, why can't you just be like him? Conduct your campaigns just like he does. Or can ask him on the Biatem, he doesn't attack and he doesn't undermine the relevance of any candidate. At every turn he says Omunina he needs everybody's support. And that Nyamiana I don't know we near obey he will be a support. I mean, is this difficult to communicate? Is it that difficult to communicate? But Mitiasia Ebimu, you see, sometimes in campaigns, and I've done this long enough to know. When you are doing campaigns, Ebimu will camp no more. They want to prove to you, say, we are we are the warriors. Until they do more than you is actually required. And at the end of the day, need your home and your bro. Nti Misra omo emulated examples of the very person they claim
they are supporting. Lawyer Chum, countdown as 4th November this Saturday. And away who do fiasem? Who do fiasem?
Obi.
Yes.
Mamini can be sir the NDC in
wait the chum whatever say manka we dia na my from soccer say I was now mo ye enra no
Ghana Journalist Association
I congratulate GG for having conducted a very eventful program. It was idea the organization was on point, and congratulations to all the winners. Nami Beka winner no say his focus is more on Galamsey. Nami Beka was some
if Erastus Asare don't call.
He was complaining say he's not getting cooperation from officialdom.
Yeah, from the ministry, from the Minerals Commission, and
does he expect to get that kind of cooperation?
Why shouldn't he?
Ebi mo ye Galamsey ni bi. Officials he be Galamsey ni bi. Into whose cooperation are you looking for? What is here? Some of them are complicit, and some of them, you see. Come here, can crow. And this is Obi Yebisawa and then what is the state of the fight against Galamsey?
I'll take it from what Erastus told us,
which is we have failed.
We failed, yes.
And why do you think that is? Look, and yes, Sabi, fighting Galamsey is not rocket science. But what it takes, what is required, is the will, the political will. But why would you fight something you are profiting from? Why would you fight something you are fully and actively engaged in? Until Oka say IGP, look, and yeah, IGP Sembia, you need somebody who is dedicated to the fight. But as it stands now, no official of government, in my humble view, is committed to this fight because no one a common Obi. Who am I
fancy?
Yeah, Obi. So now comedy can you first the NDC is through foreign branches in the whole Spain.
Yes.
Some of our officials are there.
So America J way or Jenny Peche
Spain no.
Oh,
then
Jenny. Omusia party for
yeah. This is 3rd of 2nd November rather, which is Thursday. Yeah, one more. I mean the commencement of the program.
Okay.
And then Friday, they will pay a cut score to the ruling party in Spain, the office. And then Saturday, so there some more or less a mini rally with the party people in Spain. And then
they
will depart on Sunday. So
it says opposition politics is all bad.
It's quite a nice program, and I think so.
That's good.
Yang branches na say yang crofo akodia
because in Spain go matter so Germany.
I understand the former president was in the US.
He was in the US. Canada.
That one is different.
Another
that's different.
Hey. Eric J mako Germany or mako Belgium or Sedena.
In the European Europe. Wow.
So it's good. I mean, yes sir, you be ginger woman or bonten so na agro nyanya fiunko because what ya bonten one one way or the other also influence
sure.
And there are people who listens to you and at the same we my union na ho no a party for no you catch from say agidie na omanya party mo di agina party na china from here e da kopie mu ho no they should continue to be behind the party in terms of their support and everything na yankun kodin fin share the year 2024 and the elections that will be coming up. Having said that, MPP elections on Saturday, now 4 candidates. I'm afraid to anyway. On number 4. Okay. On the many son on the name of 2 back of the man say, we try my money in Kobe. Yeah. We try my money in Kobe and say, in the party no and from who you dream po when it one money new money muda into money said that jenny baby nada adenimo ne dia no many insurance no anti me the bit aka fa no number 3 there me no go man ko no be on the job of the president. I mean, why are you going to waste your time?
The president's friend.
That's even and no kind of money give no guy say no. Na do e wa danfo. Na mo mo afan go say na danfo. Oh Masajai. I know the only
immediate past a Greek minister.
I know you see you planting for food and jobs since you the highest food inflation in Africa. The term. I don't know or no way be president and any a Greek minister, your man is your mom, it's some of you planting for food and jobs. And the boat times, I would you debate him and say, I was saying, Nibuso. Never. Never any bush anybody. Obi.
Na say
any bush anybody.
Mama Obabe Church.
Oh, Nyabotre. Very simple.
Market.
And now, okay. Now, guys, would be answer anchor. And now, the answer, I'm never some baby.
Or a Cambridge trained there.
Oh, Obi, young go school, you can be. Maybe come and go University of Law. Then I can. Obi, I go Cambridge. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, we are going to go to Cambridge.
No,
what does it? It's not about academics and who credentials about so Obi. I've grown from because the kind of what does it?
I go Cambridge.
No quality one Oxford no drop me so and go Oxford 70 my way at Miss
Mo Kasabe
so I mean
President Kufuor
to move on
Oxford
into another I mean honorable also free equity right at the na me hu say kono say option hu kwa kebeboa because I mean sometimes Obi save your money now who said he was going to win.
Na send you behind the elections up so.
Then to go already. Say Sika ya do no when is gonna na brosintinu o kwase wo de. No. You think you are going to win or you want to win. Nti na oba no. But I mean, who no afuna channel nto so na say baby ya do jan ya hu so na nti ya do akase ma bende. I don't dey how there anyway, but
the two horse race.
Exactly. Then you come to number 2. Number 2
Dr. Baumia.
I go one answer me do no be.
Number 1 here Kennedy Japan.
Kennedy, dear, to be honest with you, me personally, or surprising me in their first round. Me rating number 3 maximum. So I born who more than crowd when number 3. And in that one,
yeah.
But not Michelle's bet was Baumia 1, Alan 2. To be honest, Bram who second their best second, I was shocked. Because initially I was starting, that mean the seriousness I was idea no anymore. As I mean, so no now when you're serious. But baby and Bemus as a fed in who's as an near Breno, yes, after round 1, no one said no. So what near second, sure. He's going to be like, I mean, the second force in the party, or more or less, even at some point, the first person to contend with in the party. You know, why are they? But you know, I'm not Daniel Obi. I least expected Canada Japan to be, I mean, a household name now. Passes just a presidential born. I mean, my news are Mando. But me, at least one more muda. But what me are trying to do this time round, they keep saying so part 1 and 2 be in the last one, but I don't mean kind of you.
2014.
Maybe I wasn't around Vintage and I'm following here, but this was one idea and maybe many dear Chickassy. But why are they? And so far the campaign was in the Bugado Bobby Bar. Omo the senior boys, the senior or Bobby Copa. I don't see him to be winning. Personally, me who is to be winning. But I'm sure maybe an American say okay about maybe and was and we can't tell, but plus and minus. But who be some power my dream in the me who me who is to be winning. But at least I know that he's going to do well. I don't expect him so near below 30% of them Accra. To be honest, when you're below 30% of them Accra, I expect some about whom more than this time around because just like said na tiki cano. Or no the support base more or less no form chance no. As soon as they say they were all shipping line. I mean, I'm glad someone going to be company because they're now more behind the scene. No, it was just surprising. Because Ken Alan going to me as for him to be because not the target was to get about not less than 80% in that first one. And so going 80% and so dear Emma Baumia Capatu Maso. Oh, Maso. Okay, Maso. Forget. And get Maso. Cadombo on a amendment, Maso. the agenda wasn't to go for that too. No. It was shocking to them. So 70%. But you know, as usual, sometimes I tell you now when we now. So it's fine. But now the main person and the son of woman contesting is Dr. Baumia. I know he's going to win, but also if the polls is something that I should go with DR, then what they are saying is that they may not get a clear winner at their first round on Saturday. But one person go for through daily guide that I didn't so predict that he's going to get about 80% of the votes on Saturday. Sure. Say they are going from where they are. Member down on Saturday night. They be saying yes. Wow, okay. Wow, them. Now, what did the change? Then it's many and many son. But you see, what kinds of more? Now, I am many come and I say no. The make the man say I think in his words, indirectly, what Jatum said maybe is so. Yes or no bit my cancer. Or no come any problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because at least one know the more or less we're subordinate to them. It is so no cancer yeah. But my question is Oshabra when we start to campaign yeah. Alan Womuno yet now say only the 10-point agenda now. No ODB GTP and enough women
the great transformational plan.
Correct. What the need by I know no one work. Can say I can also know almost the video be biano, but do a name biano
PhD no patriotism.
Last one here,
honesty. Okay, and I think discipline.
Very good. Do you also know Canada? I mean, baby, what do biano when you be big catcher and nema winning ponus and Yamina and could be winning or Bob and Nemo, the men so can be bia so far. Opemunemo. 1 year so far, maintains what can be built by the Matians and Miss Mom show down when Baron Zuka can be named. But on no sooner than on one was so far.
Then what catch a party for? So we ultimately internal election.
And never national promises. I
don't know a different strategy. I'm saying also be a national promises. Maybe on no so we need answer. How do you know? Sir.
Croy to me. So your mind to me and you crumple on my own binka. Obi. Or I can say, what about finding fun of the back? Already, I just said, but some time to me, I would turn down now. Don't go in him. I've never seen good. You know, and somewhere what kind of
monk carry one in the back on a pepper.
Oh, one of the son of my granity. Young assassin on one say now I'm a grand uncle. You ever want to page by page, chapter by chapter, line by line. Ya corner style be boko ya de bato to pepe and we anya gidigidi what the all kind one ya de be adwuma adwuma ekwa ya so korea na mo bata kwan so adachi de bato no busa na wase de oye na no mo kan ho de all kind no anwa zama ne be kan wa because the all kind no nyame adom obi emu bie ni wa adane ene sani mani nyina esibiem wo say am ka ba ko say the NDC keeps on increasing taxes. Wabra ya create economic hardship and you go the taxes the gun crop so happening and na mo the bola tax crap to this and petrol so bola tax and that this and petrol so every liter bi o be to biara o kromka o tua bola tax so what here be there is there a hardship now o man panier consider the number one gentleman or no di wani na we and mate no wa consider say man no ba bi agina no. So automatically, as a me no mouth be of young could do Boshasana, I'm going to say bonus. Much a quantum fee. Aja quantum pum, I can't swim fin. Ah, and I was see a ma blend be no be film. Nothing, one idea, an idea. Then I see about saying, you 1,001 questions to ask him. 170 questions now, at Mammy Satan, and working on Sunday. That economic difficulties are now saying women tell the man so one VIP. We're in charge of EMT. It will no MS as questions. Once I my president, once I my vice president, I want to share economic management team. So once the economic questions, you expect him to be answering. That same question and that same capacity is where you find yourself today. Have you answered them? Or you are not preparing the answers? 7 years down the line on my within 7 years. On within 4. The one that you said those questions from within 4 years, What the Yamenchade, Yankupa di Wafu, or don't quite know what in natural. What did you feel and Fishia and soon ye Obi? Questions now was at the Mus sign of answer. Ah, boy, where we find ourselves to the Mus sign of answer, man, boy. You can't dodge these things. You answer them. Because before we will take you to the next level, we need to know where we are coming from. And Penny say, so one Kaiba be a free by be okro. So I see a Kaiba be a woody free. Who can say when you borrow too much, you end up with IMF? Where are we today? And you know one thing that took us to IMF? Excessive borrowing, debt. Because the World Bank declared us as a debt-distressed country in June 2022. And as a result, we found ourselves with the IMF. Obi, can you dodge these questions? You can't. I mean, this is not the time to be putting this to him. I mean, I try no. Crow, you are neither something as in Guinea. You have sent us your bimwa. Now, you have a friend, and we yourself have a flag brother. Correct. The friend, I have 2 questions no more. No other said, the entire officer was what I say. Jamu Quenya to even young point in the first place. Why should he even think about you? You said teachers were suffering, nurses were suffering, carriers were suffering. Are they jubilating today? Are they singing your hymns and praises today? What have you done to change their lifestyle? You will tell us. Because we will pick you from there to the next level. But I can sit here and say without fear, second, the performance in Kwandia, he has been one of the most extremely incompetent vice presidents that we have had in our history. Take it or leave it. Oh dear, you're the best free Jim. I did a train Monday. Uncle Winimra. But we see one Obi.
Yes.
Garu issue, no?
Garu timpani.
That be when Garu issue, no? Mass million civilians. Sure, at that me masebida Obi. Men in uniform, what they can't take is where a non-uniform person tried to suppress the authority. Adding, Masre. I've seen some before. And I put my example with UTV. Let me repeat the same example here. My days in service somewhere 2006. Let me tell you. There was one day na we were community police station. Obi. All we be and him say car be salon car, private car, dimly car park station anim. That one park Obi when just a minute to dimly car free car be share counter back. We were all shocked. Then they see. Yes, you ever have one tip and another oven being so totally e di akira eba. Obi, oba no park e pro and so munipa ba me nsa mema. As from giddy. Do you know what they were going to do? They were coming behind the counterpart to come and be the guy at the police station. I'm telling you. Where you Myanmar they see you. The question is, Sanoa Kuni Pampa. Onwa de ne ho abehye police for nsem. At that moment. What else can you do again? Because I got you know I be a guard police at some point.
Sure.
What is the right thing to do?
We do not
have a police for and some other record tobacco. But also as a episode. The issue is see Gary, Messiah, because I'm told, sir, at some point, these persons who were saying they were national security operatives went to the police station, whether with the people or in the force or whatever, they were at the police station. So then the Sankopan Aiba Safideka, Honokan, yes, Yapoma Boom and Kekobomo, then the Bassa. I believe that the moment you give the people or you hand them over to the police, and I say, one more police for 1 7, we should allow the system and the law to operate.
Okay.
Nemo say, yeah, I say, you have to do her. Now, see, beside Yashi and somebody, and then I say, we wouldn't about bedding. But the man enforcement in Sobi, any young citizens in Samu, it was like Makonu Pen, some woman, my constitution determined, say, they are the law enforcers. So if you want a law to be enforced, you leave it to those who can enforce it, not my manager. But to the security operatives as well. Somebody will just verbally say, me a national security operative, without any evidence to prove to it. na ebi abona side arm se ne ho ubonu ogute bia walkie-talkie anagota anabibi na kita no. That doesn't make you a national security operative. There should be proper and better identification. In police service, the police service instruction will tell you, say, where you are not in uniform, you are to identify yourself with the police service ID card.
Sure.
Issued by the Inspector General of Police, with the signature behind it.
Okay.
So what I say, and to say, who could be a police in here? I was someone this had any idea that I said, me, Chumberry, me a police, me, inspector, me, a sergeant, me, a sing. And this is my identity to prove to you, say, me, be. Who do I know when I cast it? Because it tore down, it tore down, it will be a police in here, and I say, we are national security operative. That alone is not enough. When those civilians came to the vehicle, did they really introduce themselves properly as per thought, as security operatives, or it was just by word of mouth? Yes, the national security minister, I know the your men and women should be well identified. Don't just use your words mouth. I mean, one can find because Obi, many people find boys or guys who are in their areas. No, to spa, to damage, and now was you a national security operative. How do you identify those people properly? Is it true? And I don't know about could be capital so busy when national security as an informant names and different. And it's different when you can. And process away national security informant Bobby. When you know, so I did that one to make it to be said
informant,
national security informant. Can you imagine? What I say? So why this thing happens? No one can say besides any panic here be mu. Yen ya said about Jamanese and Abusian Muhammad.
Yeah.
He was able to identify himself as a soldier to the people.
But still,
but only about some they make when you know their trouble.
Okay.
That is the difference. So woman was on matter of China. There be a mechanical security officers. They are no woman why you're communicating. They create the vacuums in their own documents for us to criticize them.
I am function next week. Me pacho. Why? Yemreno aso. Me da se papa.